Welcome back. Leap Enforcer Podcast, episode 15. I didn't plan on doing a podcast this quick, but that was just a terrible showing by the Packers today. I don't even know where to start. Defense played pretty solid. I mean, you're holding these guys to, 13 points. And, you're giving them the ball. I mean, when Love threw that interception, I mean, you're giving them the ball like right there in scoring range. So the defense played pretty well. Second half, we had some dumb penalties, holding, things like that. It's part of the game. I'm not gonna go into the refs on this one. We just played terrible. This offense is. This was what I was talking about yesterday on my podcast about playing down to competition or not putting teams away. You get a 10-point lead, and I mentioned a pick six changes the whole aspect of a game, even if you're up, double digits. Well, that happened. Love through that interception. I don't know what he was. I don't know what he's seen. I don't know what he thought he saw. But you can't make that risky of a throw in your own part of your own field. Like, you just can't do that. You're setting your defense up. Their backs against the wall. It's just it was such a terrible game offensively, and I don't know where this offense is. Like, it's like you click at certain times, and then we come out in these second halves and we just get so complacent, and it backfired on us this week. I think we kind of came into this game kind of overlooking Cleveland, and I said they had they got one of the top defenses in the game. They just can't really move the ball on offense, but they only need a 13 points. So, our offense should be at least able to put up, 20s. I mean, Green Bay gets in the 20s. I mean, that defense is going to, give us a shot to win the game. That was just an absolute meltdown though. Love's bad interception. I don't feel like we're getting the run game going with Josh Jacobs. We got Matthew Golden involved kind of quick, which was nice. He had a okay game. I think it was 4 receptions for 50 some yards, and he had a couple of rushes too. But this offense, man, I know it's week 3, so I'm not gonna go crazy about it. But you beat a good team in Detroit, you beat a good team in Washington, then you lose to a bad team in Cleveland, and it I just kind of think that this has to go back on Love. This has to go back on LaFleur. Play calling is atrocious. I don't know if LaFleur's got too much on his plate, but this play calling is garbage. And, we get these leads and then we just let teams stick around, or we let them back in the game. And this shit backfires all the time on us. And it did last season. And, I mean, if this is a rude awakening for this team, I'm glad it happened now and not, later in the season or in the playoffs, because this is the shit that, makes us go home in the playoffs is dumb stuff like this. But, Love, even on that one, I think it was like a 3rd and 1, and he took like a 14-yard sack. It's like, dude, you're at midfield. Like, what are you doing? Like, it just throw the ball away. Be smarter. Don't try to be, a superhero. Stop holding onto the ball so much, Our offensive line was terrible. I mean, it was atrocious. I mean, Jordan Morgan had I think 4 holding penalties. And I understand. I'm glad Zach Tom came out, tried to give it a go. I mean, he lasted 1 play. So I mean, there's got to be something with the medical staff saying, hey, like, they should at least know, or Zach Tom, you can't put yourself in that position for us long term, man. We need you. Like, you're one of the best O-linemen in football. So. Banks came in. He got hurt again. I hope Javon Bullard's good. I just, I don't know. I hope this is a rude awakening for us. It is week 3, so I'm not going to go crazy about it, but we have a lot of shit to fix on offense, and the defense is playing well, but we got these mental mistakes, and we don't have discipline. I've always talked about LaFleur teams not having discipline. We don't have discipline. Look at all the penalties today. This is most penalties we've had. I think it was, I seen somewhere, I glanced at it. It was like one of the highest amount of penalties we've had in, I don't know, 10 years or something crazy like that. But it's just, that all goes back to discipline and putting us in bad positions. Jordan Love putting us in bad positions. and this play calling is so bad right now. So hopefully they can figure this stuff out. I mean, Love, you can't turn the ball over like that. Our O line looks like crap. Our play calling looks like crap. We're not really getting a lot of separation receiver wise. I mean, Golden got open a few times. Dobbs made a couple good catches. Wicks had a good catch. It just, we just don't. There's no consistency, and no sense of urgency on offense. Some of these teams, they put teams away. Buffalo puts teams away. Baltimore puts teams away. Detroit last week put Chicago away. We need to figure out how to put teams away, because if we don't figure out how to put teams away and you just let these bad teams, or you let teams in general stick around, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. And it did against Cleveland, one of the worst teams in football. Good defense. You just lost to a 40-year-old Joe Flacco. Come on. You talking about Super Bowl shit. Rasheed Walker was talking about undefeated, bro. You can't beat Cleveland. Like, come on. So, anyways, I just want to hop on here and do a quick podcast. Man, there's a lot of crazy, there's been so many punt blocks and field goal blocks and return touchdowns, and it's been a hectic Sunday so far in football. I'm waiting on the Sunday night game to come on now. Man, this was a crazy week. I had a lot of teams I thought would win convincingly, didn't. Philly got lucky against the Rams. Tampa's game was a little bit closer than I thought it would be too. But anyways, I hope the Packers figure this shit out, because it's week 4 coming up, Dallas. I think they'll be focused for Dallas. I kind of feel like they were looking forward to Dallas and not realizing they had to play Cleveland today. I thought they think they're just going to show up because, everybody's got them high in the power rankings. Everybody's got them, the best out of the NFC for the Super Bowl odds. Everybody's got them written in for the division already. Like, it's week 3. We just lost to Cleveland. So there's a lot of work to do in this offense. And Jordan Love, you got to live up to your $55 million, man. Like, they're paying you a lot of money. I don't like talking about people's money, but they're paying you to be a superstar quarterback, not Tua. I mean, he ain't as bad as Tua, but let's not go down that path. You got to be a little bit more decisive. You got to stop holding on to the ball. You got to be smarter. Throw the ball away. If it's not there, throw the ball away. Stop taking sacks. Stop taking hits. I feel like every time you get hit, you fall awkwardly. Like, it makes me like, this dude's going to get hurt again. So get rid of the damn ball, man. And LaFleur, you got to figure this shit out, man, because this offensive play calling is trash. So figure it out. If you got too much on your plate, get somebody else involved, because this has been an ongoing issue now for the last few years. So I'm not going to blame the refs. I see a lot of people blaming the refs, man. You could call a holding call on any play you want to. But, I mean, these plays that they were calling, like on Evan Williams and stuff in like the 4th, it was the right call. I mean, it is what it is. It should have never been that close. You're up 10-0 with 4.5 left. Like, and then Love throw the pick, and well, you see how that goes. So, anyways, I'll be back on here probably after the Monday night game, probably Tuesday. I'm going to do another podcast. But until then, if you check this out, I appreciate it. Go Pack, go.